Okay, so we're back. Podcast 11. Here with Hell 22.
Shit.
Chester.
Hello.
And myself, Murmaider. Chester, you just had a rough morning this morning, right? You went to the doctor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's air all my dirty laundry out there.
Is everything alright?
Well, it was fine until this
In
morning.
your ass.
Yeah. Everything's coming out alright.
Okay.
That's good. Everything's coming out of your ass alright.
Yeah.
Nothing going in?
Not since he went knuckle deep.
Okay. Well,
That's
Yeah,
what
that
they
was
call it now.
painful.
that's
Yeah.
enough for me. Today we're going to talk about...
We're going to talk about Mastodon today.
We're going to talk about some reviews from this past week. Hell 22, you did Odd Dimension.
I did do Odd Dimension. Now, see, here's the thing about Odd Dimension, Murmaider. You've been claiming that you've told me I should listen to this band.
Which I have.
I think you made that up. I don't remember you telling me that.
No.
But anyway, I got around to it. Really good power progressive metal from Italy. You know, kind of trying to take a piece of the pie, the power metal pie from Italy, the pizza pie, I guess. You know, I really liked the instrumentation on the album. I thought the keyboards were outstanding. The drum work was incredible. Guitars, bass, some really good bass lines in there for you bassists out there. Definitely check that out. But I don't know, there was something about the vocals that didn't catch me. It was weak in comparison to the band. And it's kind of that same typical vocal pattern over and over again. And there's no left or right. There's no horizontal there. It's just kind of straightforward. You get what you get. I mean, again, not to say it was bad. I mean, it's as far as it goes, but just didn't really float my boat this week. You know, Murmaider, now you did a review for one of these up and coming bands. Actually, has a new album coming out, Ghost Brigade.
Yep. Ghost Brigade is from Finland. They're actually, I want to say that they're like a side project from Swallow the Sun, only they're, I guess, more of, as I did more research, it's more of the keyboardist from Swallow the Sun did some work on the new, or on this album with these other five guys. It's really their band. But that's how I discovered them. And they are awesome. They have everything involved. They have clean singing, heavy growling, tons of double bass pedaling, and they switch on and off between being really dark and doom-like to just like a more soft melodic form. But it was a great album, one of my favorite albums, and definitely check it out. And especially if you like Swallow the Sun, I'm sure you've already heard of them. But yeah, no, it's good. And they do have a new one coming out. I don't have. Do you know? Did you hear a date? I didn't hear a date.
I don't remember. I want to say it's September, October. You're
Yeah.
probably right. That's about the time, that big time of the year.
Yeah. Well, definitely be checking that out too when it comes out.
I'm sure we'll have a review up for it.
Absolutely.
And when it comes out, we'll be looking forward to that one.
Yep. Now you also did another one, October Tide, right?
Yeah, October Tide. And now this is another one of those weird stories. October Tide was started in 1997. Well, 1995 is when the demo was released. The first album came out in 1997. It was formed by two members of Catatonia at the time. Catatonia had broken up, which proved to be temporary, thank God. But Jonas, the lead singer, and Frederick, who at the time was the main guitar player, during the breakup formed October Tide. They put out one album, then Jonas got replaced on vocals. It was 1999, and then the band just kind of split. Catatonia was back in session, and there was no room for the band. Frederick is no longer in Catatonia, so now he's decided to kind of restart October Tide. So the album came out last year, the end of last year. He's got two of the guys from the band in Mourning. Definitely a band you should check out. But this is really, if you're thinking that it's a Catatonia side project, so it sounds like Catatonia, you're dead wrong. Really, it's like Death Doom. It's kind of Swallow the Sun, Draconian style. There's some good stuff to be had there, but all in all, the genre is getting kind of crowded. Mm-hmm. And unless you can really give something that others can't do,
right,
you're just going to kind of get lost in the shuffle. And I thought the album was good. The album feels short, which is always a good sign, because that means it flows well. But a lot of great heavy moments. The couple songs the guitars really get to shine through, because there's some great guitar work there, but for the most part it's kind of like that slow, deliberate, Death Doom chugging. Mm-hmm. And the vocals are just harsh and aggressive. Really good album. Definitely check it out. And I'm really hoping that they put out another one, and I really think that if they do, it's gonna be a real force.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings us on to a topic. We've been kind of kicking around some things, and we really want to get into each genre as it stands, talk about some of the bands in it, talk about the characteristics of what makes that genre unique. And one of the genres that I think we've found we are into a lot is the doom metal genre. Now, when you say doom, Murmaider, can you explain what doom is?
I think of doom as more slower, progressive metal, really depressive, almost funeral metal type. I mean, I guess you can branch that off into a genre itself.
Yeah.
But doom is usually very dark, deep, demonic growling usually. Again, I would say a lot of it's progressive or repetitive. A lot of the guitar riffs that are involved, but it's tough to say, of course, because even doom you can kind of split up into a couple different genres itself.
Well, sure, but let's talk about bands in particular. Who would you put as kind of if someone wants to get into doom, who would you tell them to listen to?
I'd say Swallow the Sun right off the bat.
Now you'd say Swallow the Sun. Now would you consider them straight doom, or would you consider them more to the death doom mix kind of side?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say they're straight doom, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, and every album kind of changes.
Definitely the genres are hard.
Yeah.
Because so many bands, they don't stick to one genre now.
Yeah. But I mean,
they kind of branch
definitely
out.
Yeah, they're definitely doom though. I would even say like Draconian.
Yep, they're in that area. But
November's doom.
I would pick out My Dying Bride as kind of like the one.
Right.
Up until their last album, which is not doom at all.
Right.
But we won't get into that. That's a topic for another day. But I mean, you're right. It's definitely the tempo tends to be slower. The depressing lyrics are always on the forefront.
Yeah, and it's not always growling. Like you said, My Dying Bride. He does a lot more, almost.
I'll call it crooning.
Yeah, like spoken word. Some of it.
Yeah.
He does do some singing, but it's really like sad, depressive stuff. But like some of the other bands, like Draconian has two different types of vocalists. They have the dark growling, and then they have the beautiful singing from the female singer, which I think is a good mix too.
Yeah, it's a really great contrast, and it kind of tries to hammer home a lot of those lyrics. I think so much of what's great about doom is the storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the songs aren't just I sit in the dark and cut myself, which I think is the misconception about doom. I mean, Chester, I'm sure in your limited experience with this stuff, if I told you that a band has depressing lyrics, you might be thinking like emo rock has depressing lyrics, like girls don't like me and I sit in my room in my dark room at night and I write poetry and cut myself.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to it. I mean, even Draconian, who we've done a couple reviews for, all their albums are really just stories about just loss and just like love gone wrong.
Yeah, or some sort of death
and that's that's kind of the backbone of doom metal. But I mean, with all the stuff that makes up the doom genre, and I mean the number of bands are countless. My Dying Bride, Isoul, Draconian, Swallow the Sun. I mean, you could throw Hellevorn in there too if you the death doom area.
Yeah.
So many of the bands we've reviewed really fall in. October Tide kind of falls in that too.
Yep.
But there are those bands who kind of take those elements to the extreme. We were talking the show we saw a couple of years ago, the band Virgin Black.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we know that doom, the drums in particular, is usually like a slow, kick, snare, but like slow, but not. I mean, you can still get the beat out of it.
Yeah.
We see Virgin Black, and they embody everything about doom. It's dark, got the little fog on stage, they're all in black.
Yeah.
The drums kick in. Boom. Then a full 15 to 20 seconds go by before the snare finally comes in there was no pace to it whatsoever. And I think that's like doom gone wrong.
Yeah, I remember I couldn't even tell after a while what song they were in or how many songs they played. I do remember, because I remember the fog and everything, but I remember trying to figure out when they moved on to the next song even, because it all kind of just sounded like one.
Well, based on the set list that I saw later, they only played 4 songs.
Oh, yeah.
So that gives you an idea of how long the songs were, and I guess with a beat like that, it's kind of hard to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, the doom metal genre, I think it gets a bad rap. Like I said, people think it's just emo kids crying in the dark. But
what got you into doom metal, Hell 22? Like when you started to initially drift into that genre of metal? What brought you there?
Oddly enough, I'm going to say Catatonia got me into doom metal, and I don't think Catatonia's doom.
No, but I can see what you mean. How they slow things down as opposed to a lot of the other.
Slow things down, the depressive lyrics,
Yeah.
and seeing, getting into Catatonia. But the night that really inspired me into doom was actually going to see Catatonia in concert. It was September 8th, 2007, and seeing Swallow the Sun open for them. And just seeing the look on the singer's face for Swallow the Sun.
Yeah.
He just looked like he hates his life. Mm-hmm. He would sing some lyrics and he'd walk back to the drum riser to get his bottle of water. And every sip, it just was like, God, I fucking hate my life.
Yep.
And there was something about that drew me to it. And I think, while they're not straight up doom, I think that got me to branch out into other things.
And it's funny because we've met him a couple of times and he's a regular dude. He's
really nice guy.
Yeah, he's really friendly, always laughing, drinking a beer and whatever.
He always looked so pissed off. He really looked like he just...
All the guys from Swallow the Sun, we met all of them, and they're really cool.
Yeah, I'd say that's what really capped off doom metal for me. I didn't even like My Dying Bride for a while. It really wasn't until Songs of Darkness, Words of Light that I really got into My Dying Bride. Something about the production on the older albums kind of struck me as odd.
Yeah.
But...
it wasn't as good.
And then A Line of Deathless Kings was what sealed it for me. And then For Lies I Sire, I thought was, if I had to get someone into more traditional doom metal,
I would probably be their gateway.
I would suggest For Lies I Sire. Not that it's their best album, but I think it's the most accessible. I think the production on it is stellar, and I think that would really help someone. Yeah. I mean, just the first song on there.
Yeah, it's a great.
Is just those vocals, those vocals are. It sounds like he's just like crying for help, and that's I think that embodies so much of what doom is about.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope you guys, if you're not into doom, definitely get into some of it. Listen to some of the bands that we mentioned: My Dying Bride, Swallow the Sun, Draconian. Keep an eye on the site. I think we review a lot of things that are in that doom
you could almost
genre. So check it out.
Yep.
Now, Murmaider, one thing we did want to mention is that this past week you had your review up of the new Symphony X album.
Yes.
Which the band was kind enough to post it on their Twitter and on their Facebook.
Yeah.
So when we saw a huge group of people coming to check it out, I mean, what did you think of the album? I mean, I read your review, obviously.
Yeah, I loved it. The album was great. I mean, it's everything that you look for in Symphony X, and they keep doing what they're so good at. And even when we saw them live, and they performed those couple of new songs, that just blew me away, and I knew right away that this next album's just going to be fantastic.
Well, Dehumanize was one of the songs they played live, and that was Russell Allen he's got to be one of the top metal vocalists. His range is just incredible.
And even for a live show, he was great. He, you couldn't even tell it was live almost. Like he was so clear, and he didn't have to yell his vocals. It was like he just straight sang everything without a problem, hit every note.
Yeah, which is impressive.
Yeah,
it's always nice when you go to see a band and they have like CD quality lyrics.
Yeah,
and performance value.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen a lot.
No,
I mean, I would say 75% of the shows we see, the vocals are good to great, but only 25% are in that like he's in a class of his own. Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth always sounds perfect.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's definitely something to look for. Yeah. So I mean, check out that Symphony X review. Definitely check out the album. Just came out this past Tuesday, the 21st. It's in our Amazon store for $9.99 for the special edition, all 12 tracks of the album.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, you should grab that one. So, speaking of which, make sure you guys check out the store. Everything we review gets put right in the Amazon store. Just click on the link on the site, check it out. Buy some albums. I know the October Tide album is $6. I mean, really, you can't beat some of these prices, and we want you guys to support the band.
Yeah, some good deals.
So check it out. Maybe you'll find something at a good price that you wanted to pick up.
Yep.
You can also our podcasts. I'm not going to get into the whole spiel. Light and Darkness Radio. Make sure you check him out on the Live 365 network. Our podcasts are on there every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m., which is really cool. Guy's got a great playlist. I think we mention this every week, but his playlists are fantastic. He was actually playing Symphony X for a good chunk of the day yesterday.
Always.
So, I mean, that's what we like to see. We have similar tastes, which is always cool.
Yep.
All right, well, that's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to us babble on about a whole bunch of shit. Check out the site. Make sure you check back daily. New reviews. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. check us out on MySpace. For Murmaider and for Chester, I just want to say, hey, Chester,
Yeah.
have fun getting fucked in the butt.
Oh, God.
On Dimension you wrote,